South Korea this week made a big change in the way we count age. South Korea has been the last remaining country with this unique way of counting the age. For more, we have our Kim Jung-sil here in the studio. Welcome back, Jung-sil.
Thanks for having me, Dami. How old have you turned this week?
So I am 2 years younger, which means I am back in my 20s.
Wow, you can enjoy another bit of your 20s. That's great.
Right, but just for 3 months. Still, it feels good to be back in my 20s.
Still. Congratulations.
Sure, but Jung-sil, maybe some of our viewers may not be so familiar with the way that we've been counting our age. So walk us through how it's been so far here in South Korea.
Yes, so the way we count age is when a baby is born, you are already 1 year old, because it's widely said that the time you spent in your mother's womb counts as 1 year. And people get 1 year older, not on your birthday, but on New Year's Day. So in some situations, people could be as much as 2 years older than the global standard age.
Right, because I turned 2 before I was able to walk alone.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
But could you give us an example like that?
Well, yeah, actually I prepared a graphic that we could take a look at while I explain. An extreme example that people often bring up when explaining this system is a baby born on the New Year's Eve. Within 24 hours of being born, the baby becomes 2 years old in South Korea, which many may also consider to be quite absurd given the baby is just a day old.
We've all known how absurd that is, but still we just lived with it, right?
Yeah.
But were there any other countries other than South Korea who followed this standard?
Yes, actually, it was widely used in East Asian countries like Japan and China. Both countries, however, got rid of the system in the mid-20th century and are using global standard age. So South Korea has been the last remaining country to have age differences up to 2 years.
Then why the change, Jung-sil? I mean, what's the government's motivation behind this age change?
Well, that's actually a great question. So first, you need to understand the issues that took place here in the country and also outside. So the South Korean government has made all legal procedures and documents based on global standard age system since the 1960s. On legal and official documents here in the country, you would be how old you are globally, rather than using Korean age. But this has spurred confusion among senior citizens, for example, who one example is when they came and asked for pensions, which in the country you start getting when you turn 65. So they would all go to the city offices 1 or 2 years early and then demand pension and just say that I've turned 65 this year, but my pension hasn't come through. And then the city officials had to explain that we're not using Korean age in that situation. So there was confusion there. Another most common problem took place when South Koreans traveled abroad and communicated with foreigners, for example. South Koreans would say that they are older than they actually are in a foreign country, which could lead to misunderstandings, especially when people are on a borderline of being a minor or an adult. So as a whole, government has decided to remove unnecessary confusion in and outside the country by taking a step closer to the global standard system.
So, like you said, all the legal and administrative documents were following the global age system, even in South Korea, right? Then I'm confused as to what actually has changed.
Well, yes, that's the thing. Nothing much has changed other than when you're telling your age to someone in your daily life. As I've mentioned, all the legal or administrative documentations already use the global standard age. It's just that now that it's become official, it's become much clearer that everything matches people's documentations. On top of that, people feel younger when addressing themselves because Korean age has been used widely in this manner until now.
So Jung-sil, I've already told you how happy I am to be back in my 20s, but what are general reactions from people here in South Korea?
Well, as you said, people feel happier because they feel as though they've become younger when they actually haven't. But there were also other very various types of reactions. Do take a listen.
I'm planning to study abroad actually, but now I can just tell them my real age without all the confusion. So I like it.
Since the change just took effect, I feel a bit worried and confused as to what to say when someone asks me my age.
And I remember one of the young girls, she was about my age, and she was born a year after me, and she was telling me, she's like, oh, I'm older than you, and I was like, you're not older than me, you're born after me. And
Those are some interesting comments.
Right.
But Cassie from Canada said that, like she said, why do people in South Korea care so much about others' age? I mean, why does it so much matter if someone's older or even younger?
Well, yes. Experts said it could be because South Korea is one of the countries that's heavily influenced by Confucianism, and one of the main virtues is to respect those who are older than you, which is why when people meet, they ask about your age to establish the relationship, because you don't want to be rude to someone if they're older than you. But the ministry said by making the global age official, the culture of being overly concerned about even 1 or 2 year differences will disappear with time, as children with these age differences will be in the same classroom and be friends as equals without such age hierarchies.
Right, friends are friends, right? And I'm already used to introducing myself as a 29-year-old girl.
You should be.
Yeah, I feel no guilt.
Absolutely. And the ministry also added that this new system will be contributing to creating a society where one's individuality and characteristics more valued than one's age.
All right, Jung-sil, thank you so much for your report today.
Always a pleasure.